Harley and Claude. Okay, very interesting one. Claude for goal land and late game here, especially with a very mobility and escapability. For the early game here with the very magic burst damage can be very interesting for Octa Gaming.
Yeah, and that was something I was going to be reading into, because while I understand and while I like DreamHack being able to try to set this up for a Sora or a Freya pickup, it's like, yeah, you can ban, you have to choose which evil or which poison you're going to give us here. They elected for Sora because once you get that pickup, now we can reply with something. And the biggest thing that's going to thwart a Sora on the team is going to be mobility, and that is exactly what you have with a Harley and a Claude, where Harley can go teleportation, and the battle mirror image on the side of Claude can get him out of harm's way once Sora comes in with all of that immediate damage and CC that she can put onto teams. But the immediate answer on the side of DreamHack is going to go ahead to scoop up that Suyu, scoop up that Hilda for that early game advantage here. And this is something a little bit better. I forgot who picked up the Hilda at first points in yesterday's game, but it was against a tanky jungler, where Hilda is just not exactly allowed to harass that with the ferocity that she can with something squishy like a Harley.
I was thinking about glue, Zina.
There is that glue. Why glue? Why were you thinking about glue?
Because first in the meta he's too strong. You know, he has a very high sustainability here, and for Hilda could be very interesting for not like letting Hilda harass so much the jungle, as we saw yesterday, as Private was talking about. So maybe it can be a very good idea and situation for Octa Gaming Private.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say, like, we've seen how strong Glue was, except when it went against the Linux, when it was able to kind of put on a lot of that damage. As soon as Glue was able to use that split, they were basically all over him, putting on a ton of damage. Linux is able to use every single one of those minions to get health back as well. So we've seen that the Glue is mortal. He does bleed. He can be beaten. He's not the unstoppable force that we've been seeing. I want to say even in North, he's been very unstoppable. It doesn't mean he's going to be easy, but there are ways around. Oh yeah, and
yep. They couldn't trust that Lunix. Glue can't get Lunix when she gets her one of her ults right going. So that's a good ban.
I'm telling you guys, Private here is something more for the drafting system here. But now I'm really excited to see what's next here. Maybe for Sagan. Yeah, assuming there's no Ivy for him, maybe a Kimi here to play safe.
Yeah, Kimi is 18.
Mid lane here.
But
I don't believe in Farsa here so far because, okay, it is a static mage. Also, it can work with that composition, but maybe it can be too much for them. But with the phrase, I don't remember, we're going to see.
Oh, they picked up the Zetian.
Okay.
I did say that, but I said it quietly. Maybe I should have said it one more bigger. Zetian.
And that's what we have behind the desk. Everything needs to be said with vigor. I like that. Yeah, there's little things that can kind of happen. That's what I was kind of wondering, because that almost seems like a decent pick for the side of DreamHack too, having this Zetian out there. Especially if you have your passive ready, Blue tries to close the distance on you, you're able to kind of create that distance once again, push him away from you here. Now I'm kind of wondering where you go. The only other thing I think we have is maybe a Lilia that can be picked up, but I feel like I've already cursed Lilia having her out there so many times with some losses here. We're going to go ahead and pick up a Vexana. There's a pick. Yeah, we haven't seen a Vexana pick in a very long time. She does have a good amount of AoE damage that she can put out there. The frightening grasp as well that can kind of I want to say a little bit of confusion out there. To me, it's just a basic CC that you can put out there. But the biggest thing is the amount of AoE damage you can put out there, especially with the the Ancient Guardian that can come out there as well to really chunk down a lot of those thicker, the glue-type tanky heroes as well. The only problem, though, is the fact that she isn't very mobile, doesn't have an escape. So you're, oh man, and especially speaking of escape, especially going against the Yuzong.
There's the play. Yeah, this Yi Sun-Shin's gonna give vision as well with, so.
Yeah,
this.
I believe that for Octa Gaming here, they decided to make a composition with a specific a certain of range with the Zetian, Harley, especially with Yuzong here, so. Zetian has the ability to basic attack or being mobile every time, especially with the ultimate, which is can spot the entire enemy composition. And we also have Yuzong with the Black Dragon to not only to get in the backline, but also to buy more time for that composition here, Private.
Yeah, but ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be moving on to game 2 of our first series of the day. Octa Gaming looking for a clean sweep, while DreamHack looking to set the tone and extend this to a game 3. Will they be able to with this composition? I think we're about to find out, Rico.
1-0 for Octa Gaming. Everybody, welcome to the Land of Dawn once again for the second game here. So let's see. Oh, Saber here also survived with a very low HP, Private.
Yeah, he's going to have to go ahead and already use a little bit of that healing. That's just going to speak like the aggression that's coming out from the side of DreamHack to go ahead and really start immediately in the early game. You can see here they're going to go ahead and start refusing a lot of that farm coming out the gaming as well. So they're going to try to start this early, start trying to make sure, ooh, they're going to try to go in early onto Lucy, putting a lot of damage out there. Lucy not down just yet. Saber hiding in the bushes, looking for an opportunity. King doesn't see it, and then I'm not gonna lie, I love it amuses me to see that Patrick skin, just that dumb smile as he's just exiting bushes. It's so funny to me, especially when a lot of these games get a little serious. Speaking of serious, that in with a little bit of that teleport does get a deadly magic onto Shaykite, but Blink was right there to try to face tank a lot of those cards for them. Shaykite gonna go ahead and return back to base.
Coach Shaykite once again here, not forced to use a flicker or something. So DreamHack so far is so comfortable in that situation. Once again, 5 seconds to the first turtle, and jump style the best. And Thanatos also. So both teams now are heading for this first goal, Private.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and start on this turtle, but I want to say good, firm control by DreamHack. Are we going to be seeing that Black Dragon come out? There it is from the back end, swooping in, looking for a target. Looks like he's going to go ahead and get on the Blink, uses that flicker to get himself out of harm's way. Down comes the Fury of the Phoenix, and on the back end, King going to go ahead and put some damage on. Saber's getting refused out there, and that's going to be a clean pickup of a turtle for DreamHack.
Yeah, so even though Blink was forced to use Blink here, so he'll lost that kind of potential for something, but now Thanatos.
Oh, wow, that actually tricked me out. Early go, but he went on to the back end, still got taken out. So a great positioning, a great read and communication coming from DreamHack. Even with some very smooth moves coming out from Thanatos TZ, DreamHack was right there to be able to take him down. It's going to bring him to that first blood. Saber and Tuck there still gets taken out. The immense damage coming from Shaykite on this Vexana.
Especially the second one with not even necessary to use the Ancient Guardian for example, but now DreamHack is guaranteed dominating the jungle here. There's no poke. Oh, Thanatos got to the purple, but
the damage that came out onto Harley. Eternal Guardian was right there, even gave him a little bit of a swing of the sword, takes him down very low. He's going to have to run back to base. Might be rethinking some of this right now. In the early game right now, DreamHack is just doing a great job getting a lot of this aggression out, continually keeping this pressure up on them. And this is one of the things I was very curious about too. They have, I want to say, Octa Gaming have a lot of tools that they can use, especially as you move into the mid and late game. But DreamHack, if they can take advantage of that early game, take advantage of the Hilda, the immense damage that you're going to have coming up with the Vexana as well. You might be able to kind of get this game synced in before you're able to kind of get that momentum from Octa Gaming before we get to that 8 and 9 minutes.
Yeah, but you know what? I think this is becoming just a little bit complicated, just a little bit complication situation for Octa Gaming, because we talk about Harley here, which has a very behind. You know, he didn't guarantee the first turtle for Octa Gaming. The second one here, he was taking out once, you know, so Harley is losing his potential by the time is passing. But now, once again, another turtle, Private.
Yeah, another turtle out. Black Dragon is out there too as well, but there are some tanking members there. Do have the Venus comes out. Lucy able to find a kill onto King there. And more damage coming out to try to get some separation between DreamHack and Octa Gaming. Turtle turning back and forth. Looks like they're trying to bait it out on the back end. Saber might be in trouble. Gets taken a little too far into DreamHack's lane there, but that's going to allow the space for Octa Gaming to scoop up this second turtle.
Yeah, I believe the sacrifice was worthy for Octa Gaming here, at least to guarantee the second turtle. But now Thanatos, what are you doing there, my friend?
Yeah, I I feel like maybe. Oh man, that's one of the big reasons that Carlos has come back into the meta is because of the very, very low cooldown when it comes to that teleport there. So I feel like maybe he's a little overestimating his mobility when he gets into enemy territory there. You saw he kind of was able to dodge, I want to say at least 3 or 4 skills there, but eventually DreamHack was right there to kind of close the distance around him.
And what a surprise, I saw Sky Person in Jumpstyle's hand here. Almost another hero for this item. But now DreamHack is moving 2 players to make a proxy. But King could be in trouble.
Oh, King. Oh, but he's actually going to be able to get away. That's a Sora for you. The amount of defense there, especially the deadly magic, probably a face full of cards from Thanatos TZ, but still able to get away. And now DreamHack's trying to do a little ownage of the enemy territory. They're not quite able to get the purple buff and steal it away from Octa Gaming just yet.
Look at the J-Kite's damage, you know, it's on Saber. It was only 1 skill. It was like 20% of her HP, you know, so Octa Gaming has to take care about like this potential for J-Kite. But now, oops, on the river, let's go.
Yeah, Saber's going to go ahead and use that split. Big flicker there comes out from Blink, and might actually Saber going to go ahead and disengage from that, try to get away. Thanatos TZ goes ahead, takes a little bit of damage there from Chimera, who's sitting at 0-0-3. I want to say Yusa Shin is another one of those that you need to watch out for as you start getting into the later and later game. Octa Gaming's going to have to start dealing with that gold laner. Lucy might be in a little bit of trouble here. 3 members down comes the Raging Phoenix, but it is not able to save Lucy, and that looks like it's going to be a top tower for the side of DreamHack. Off screen, does look like Chimera gets taken out by Thanatos TZ.
You know, very good time pick off here for DreamHack because now probably Octa Gaming is not fighting back for this goal, for this objective. While we have a 2v3 in the mid lane, but DreamHack is concerned about guarantee another turtle and is 1 more objective for the Dragon Boys.
Yeah, and I want to say that Octa Gaming is trying here, but they're starting to kind of fade. Later and later, I think that's King a little bit in trouble there. Jump's gonna have to use that flicker to try to get it harsh way. Big blazing duet coming in from B2 into the back line. We do have 2 down. Jumpstyle and J-Kite go down on the back end, and now starting to feel a lot of that damage coming out from the Claude. I was just about to talk about how the late game, while Harley, I mean, he does shine in the early game, with some of the differences in Harley's kit now, he elongates. He can still be valid as you start moving into the late game, and that's something that DreamHack needs to be very concerned about. Octa can really scale into this late game within the next 4 minutes. DreamHack need to be looking at closing this game up, or they're going to be dealing with basically a completely different team that's more mobile, that's got a lot more damage that they can dish out.
Yeah, you know what, Private? I'm not sure, but I believe in the last team fight, the Zetians above maybe saved the rest of DreamHack's team, you know, but the buff like pushes the enemy away, because it was a very good block, and maybe that could be more players for DreamHack to take him down, but it was only 2, you know, so maybe somehow DreamHack was saved by the bell, saved by the ring so far, but of course the game is still even, the goal lead is almost the same here, so both teams are playing so well that here for me that could be a matter of detail to be lethal for any of those teams.
That's why I said, like, as you start moving into the late game, especially for Lucy, starts getting a little bit more tanky. He can get into that back line. He can possibly get that Petrify on more than 1 person. Follow that up with Zetchian's ultimate, where you have the Raids of the Phoenix to come to throw down another stun. That is the perfect opportunity to have B2 come in with that blazing duet, where you've got the entire team stunned with 2 different abilities there. Speaking of which, Blink might be in a little bit of trouble here. He's going to go ahead and get put down there. Gets pushed back there by the glue. All the while here on the backside, King trying to put some damage on the Segan. Is it going to be enough? Down goes King. He does trade his life for Segan on the back end. B2 able to use his battle mirror image to get in and out, trying to keep those stacks up. Blink goes put down on the backside as well. That's going to be 2 down for DreamHack. Jump style is still up, so they do still have an opportunity to possibly be able to get this Lord. But Blink is on the other side of the map, going to be looking to pick up the purple buff from Octa Gaming, but that's going to go ahead and allow a very free Lord for Octa.
Yeah, I believe that split up team fight could not be very good for DreamHack, you know. By the time you have a Sora and Chai and J-Kite here with a very AOE, so maybe a DreamHack is not about like trying to, okay, a specific pick off before an important objective here can be a very good. But sometimes I think that only the block team fight can be better for DreamHack, because the last one here was so in favor for Octa Gaming, guaranteed 3 more kills, and in consequence they guarantee the Lord also. So 11 minutes here. The goal lead is almost the same, just a little bit ahead for Octa Gaming, but not a big deal. And the Lord is heading in the bottom lane for the turret number 2, Private.
Yeah, V2 already has the 3 items he needs to be able to be doing a huge amount of damage onto the back lines, and things have just slowly been turning around on DreamHack. So Lord's gonna go ahead and charge into the tier 2 tower at bottom. Blink on the bottom side, gonna be looking to maybe take some damage. They don't have an initiating factor just yet. King is split up trying to take away the top tower, while the rest of Octa Gaming focusing on that tier 2 tower at mid.
Now we're seeing Octa Gaming making the pressure for the turret. Oh, here it comes.
Yeah, big flank came in there for Thanatos Teasy to come in, but immediately gets checked up by Blink. Shakeite able to use that flicker to get out of harm's way. Saber uses their own to get out of the tower range as well. I want to say it was a great thought there. Thanatos came from the flank on the side, absolutely surprised Shakeite, but the quick thinking of DreamMax, Blink got in the way, able to put on the damage. The Thanatos Teasy immediately gets the kill and turns it around on them.
Yeah, Octa Gaming trying to bait something against Shakeite could not be the best idea ever, especially with the Vex Stunner here, like working so well, especially with the Ancient Guard and this very cool magical damage by the mage of DreamMax so far. Here the Mountain Shockwave just to spot the composition for Octa Gaming, while DreamMax is just trying to work to take the turret number 2 down on the top side. They are able to do that. Another minion wave. Okay, okay, that's it. I was just waiting for that, not be wrong here. But you know what? After 13 minutes, I think I believe that the game is still even for both sides, because we were saying like, okay, maybe not maybe, but Harley here with Thanatos, he is still very effective, but he's very squishy, so he has to take care about like weak off, especially before the objective. But now the Lord is open once again, Private.
Yeah, they're going to be looking for an angle inside of here. Jump style hanging around up the top bush. He's going to go ahead, warming up that meat. That evil Queller is going to come in there. Black Dragon is out. Jump style actually gets disengaged from the Lord. He's looking to come in. Thanatos Teasy able to go ahead, find himself a Lord, while V2 pays back Jump style, finding a kill onto him. And unfortunately for DreamMax, they are going to have to disengage from this. They give up a Lord. They give up a kill.
Yeah, but Lucy once again being the hero, because he was downing 3 players for DreamHack, and they were not able to at least fight back for the Lord, you know. So only the Jump Fire is trying to steal the Lord with Retribution, but he wasn't able to do that, and he was taken down in sequence. But now, once again, Octa Gaming has... Yeah, but we have Shakeite, right?
Sometimes Thanatos Teasy sometimes has some of the greatest plays, and then there's some you're just like, okay, okay. And maybe it's just the positioning, and Shakeite has some amazing games with him. Sitting at 3-1-3-2, especially as a Vexana, with this type of mobility on the composition is already something to behold. Like we said, she was already MVP last time as a Kimmy, so we know she knows her positioning. We know she knows how to put on fire. Another fight open here. 3 members go ahead and swarm out. Shakeite right there, going to put some damage on the Segan. Find the kill there. Lucy in trouble. Chimera able to find the kill as well. B2 getting picked off by Saber. Oh, actually, Saber able to pick off Chimera. So that's going to be a 2-1 right there. DreamHack loses 1, while Octa Gaming loses 2. Lord's going to be taken down as a DreamHack. So reset on the map.
Yeah, that could be worse for Octa Gaming here after losing 2 players. The V2 playing so solid with the Claude, you know, using the Taxer hologram here so good, so cleverly. So it was guaranteed the life for Octa Gaming so far. The King now taking so much damage.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be it for Shakeite. It's going to be taken down. Thanatos Teasy found a great deadly magic onto the backside there, and you didn't have a flicker for her to be able to get away. The biggest problem here for the side of DreamMax is they found great success. The great success was a little bit earlier in the game, but the problem is that I feel like Octa Gaming, while they find great success, they're able to transition that into objectives, into tower pushes, to the point that you see that DreamMax is almost, they've got 1 tower left there, despite having 10 kills, and there's still the entire mid lane open for Octa Gaming. And I want to say like that, especially when it comes to strategy, that mid lane is so important to be able to try to open up the map, and it makes it less so, once those towers get taken away, your team has less and less areas to be able to run away to get safety to. And that just says something about the way that the difference between the way DreamMax and Octa Gaming consider these fights and consider what they're going to get out of these fights.
Yeah, I was seeing like when you were talking about that situation, I was seeing Thanos trying to flank. Oops.
Yeah, they're going to go, oh man, actually he's going to go in there. Black Dragon's going to go well into the back line, looking for some damage. King gets taken out on the side of Octa Gaming. Are they going to be able to... Jumpstyle by himself sitting there with Blink, looking to reset their V2 very low. Saber gonna come in for the side there. Jumpstyle in trouble, gonna have to use that dash to try to get away. In comes Chimera, finding a kill onto Thanatos TZ. Down goes Segan as well. Now running for the hills is Saber gonna be able to find the kill onto Chimera? He does. Chimera was doing the best he could to try to get those auto attacks off to get a lot of that health back, but it wasn't able to help him. He still gets taken down. 2 down for the side of DreamMax, 2 down for the side. The only difference being here, you do have a jungler on the side of DreamMax. It's unfortunate that they're just all not in a position to be able to really put pressure onto this Lord just yet.
Yeah, 2 for 2 here. Saber now he's doing the front line. What a mess here in the last few minutes in this game. As you said, there's no Thanatos. Oh, no, he's back. Okay, now the Lord is open once again, and both teams are dancing around this very important goal that could be for anyone here, Private.
Yeah, and the Lord's kind of going back and forth. I feel like Octa Gaming, they want the fight. They're very confident in their ability to kind of be able to win these. So they're baiting out the Lord, letting DreamMax see what's going on here. Now you can start seeing some of these lanes start pushing Dream. Our King does get a little bit of pressure onto their Saber in the front. Actually going to have to use that flicker. Is going to use that split. He's sitting right on top of a Blink. Lord's still very healthy just yet. Nobody any worse for wear. Oh, here comes the Black Dragon. He's swimming. He's looking for Chaikai. I'm not sure if he was able to see her in that bush, but now the Lord very low. Black Dragon did its job of zoning out the team, and Thanatos TZ able to quickly scoop it up.
You know what? Octa Gaming here was really smart, because by the time they were fighting for the Lord, DreamMax lost 3 ultimates, and so they could read that situation and even lose into zone 3 plays for DreamMax. So DreamMax, they were not able to fight back.
Yeah, Saber and trouble here, getting whittled down, gets taken out. Oh, he has the immortality, though. Is that going to be enough? V2 has his ultimate out, just used the Winter Crown, but the rest of the team swarming around him, but not before he's able to take down King. Jumpstyle is next. Chaikai gets taken out by Thanatos TZ. It's just Blink alone. Has to get the base, is not going to make it. Octa Gaming with a clean sweep over DreamMax.
Take my energy, take my money, take my everything, Octa Gaming, for guaranteed the victory here in the first match versus DreamMax. It's a big deal. It's a victory against a very traditional and a very strong team one here, Zena.
Octa Gaming has made it a quiz. Their streak is going strong. They're 2-0 so far in these past 2 days. They're doing an amazing job. Their synergy is on point.
Yeah, I feel like this is something that I was kind of the little inklings that we were seeing from yesterday when it comes to strategy, when it comes to the understanding of the compositions and the game, whether it's yesterday where they were letting Zushin through